Well, good afternoon, listeners. Thank you so much for listening to Lament of Hope podcast. It's always a gift for me to talk to so many different people, just a whole bunch of different careers and stories. And today I have Michel Tirabosco. Did I say that correctly?
Michel.
Michel
It's
Tirabosco.
Michael in English.
And he's in Switzerland right now, and he is going to be touring with André Rieu, the very famous violinist composer, coming up in a few short weeks. 90 concerts he's preparing for. But Michel plays the panpipes, and I came across his video when I was going through social media, and it was beautiful. And I haven't really seen a panpiper being given much of a space to play, where at least where you could see it and where he was featured. And so he's a featured artist on this tour that's coming up. And so I decided, I want to reach out to him. I want to know his story. I want to know why he loves panpipes. And so I'm very grateful to him for taking time before his concert. So thank you so much, Michel, for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
So,
of course.
Michel, I want to ask to start, what do you love about panpipes? What is it about the music that you love?
Of everything. Of course, this instrument saved my life because I couldn't play all those instruments. I was born with a huge disability, so we don't use any fingers, any arms. So I like to use my breath. I like the sound of this instrument. It's a very simple instrument, of course. So it asks you, your whole body, your whole soul, and I like that, of course, and I like music. It was for me an urgent.
Yeah.
You say that? We say that in English?
No, yes. I was going to say, Michel, feel free to speak French if you want to, because the translator will, just so you can feel comfortable.
English.
No, your English is amazing.
On a tout compris, c'est juste le dernière phrase. Urgence, ça veut dire...
Urgence, j'ai toujours voulu faire de la musique. Pour moi, c'était une urgence, c'était un besoin, a need.
Ouais.
Really,
Ah, super, ouais, vous avez très bien dit. It was always a need, a desire, something in him. Yeah, it was probably...
Peut-être qu'on a des vies antérieures, je sais pas, mais j'ai toujours compris cette musique, ce langage. Pour moi, c'était quelque chose de naturel.
So it's something of like the interior person, and for me it was the language that it was in him.
Do you find that the sound of panpipes, how would you describe it? Like, when you think of, because when I think of like a duduk, for instance, I always think of it as like the soul of a tree, is how I would describe the sound of it. How would you describe the sound of the panpipes?
It's a nice picture. Yes. Je sais comment je définirais le son de ma flûte de Pan, quelque chose de mélancolique, quelque chose de très doux, very soft, mélancolique, et en même temps très fort, parce qu'il vient du souffle.
So it's a sound very melancholic and soft, but at the same time very strong, because it's from breath. It's you're breathing into it.
It's very natural. I mean, I like that. I like the nature. So when I play the flute, it seems like I'm around the nature.
Yeah. Do you?
I'm part of this nature.
Yes. No, I understand what you mean. Because I always think music personally is a very spiritual experience. When you're listening to music, people are brought together. It's very unifying when you're listening to music. When you are playing music, I'm not a professional musician by any means, but I played violin for a couple years when I was younger, and I remember just how emotive it was. I could just pour my emotions into my instrument and feel like I was heard. Um, and it was just such an encouragement to me. I was gonna ask you, you started playing music when you were, was it 6 or 7? When did you start playing?
7 years old.
7.
7 years old, yeah.
Okay. And how many hours a day were you practicing? Because your first concert was when you were 16, right? You had a symphony
Yes, of
orchestra.
course. Yes.
Quite an
Well,
achievement.
oui, mais peut-être justement, comme je comprenais ce langage. C'était pas quelque chose d'inconnu pour moi. La musique a été très naturelle. Mon
Hmm.
père, était chanteur d'opéra
Ah, vraiment? Oh.
et voilà, et à la maison, on entend beaucoup de musique et dès que j'ai eu la flûte de Pan dans les mains, j'ai beaucoup travaillé, mais c'était une passion.
Hmm.
C'était pas du travail.
Okay, so lang he understood the language of music. He grew up with his father was a opera singer, so music
Opéra sing.
was always in the house, and so yes, he worked very hard, but it came to him naturally, and it was a passion.
And
Yeah, it's not a job.
how many hours did you spend as a kid compared to now? Is it the
Depend,
same?
depend. Well, depend on my concert, what I have to perform. It depend of my yeah the piece I have to play. But more and less with my also I teach, so I have my instrument in my arm all the day, 8 hours,
Mm.
Eh,
of course.
and do you do you find that there's, because I know that you don't have to play with the fingers because, you don't have the fingers. So in that
Yeah.
sense, it's not, because I know a lot of musicians have told me they experience a lot of finger pain, and so they do special exercises to help. Is there anything that you have to do for like your shoulders or your upper arms to help with playing so much? Is there anything you have to do to relax your body?
Yeah, it maybe it was my chance because I can catch the flute, so my flute is old like that on in my arm like a baby, and yeah, and I turn my head. It's very simple, and I have to breathe to blow. It's very easy, and of course for me c'était très important de ne pas être tendu, d'être toujours très relax quand on joue. C'est très important.
So it was very important to him to be very relaxed when he was playing, so he's not stressed in that impacts your body.
Et on a aussi un vibrato fantastique en bougeant la flûte. C'est vraiment comme une voix humaine.
And
Hmm.
so there's a beautiful vibration with this instrument that makes it sound almost like the human voice with the vibrato.
Mais j'ai jamais eu de tension sur l'instrument, c'est vrai.
But I never had the tension with the instrument. That's true.
Do you
Peut-être que l'handicap aussi, peut-être que l'handicap m'a aidé aussi à savoir comment travailler l'instrument. La gestion mentale, c'est très important. Comment, comment se connaître, comment découvrir, un son à l'intérieur de soi-même. La musique nous révèle.
Hmm. So it also probably came from his own mental um, learning to deal mentally with the handicap. And he had to learn, how do you deal with the music? How do you deal with something just as it is, the instrument as it is? Um, M gestion, mentale, ça veut dire, management of your I can't remember the word in English now, but it's the way you carry your mind, and handle things.
Travailler sur le geste en conscience.
Yeah, so, uh,
C'est compliqué un peu comme techniquement, hein.
it's your
Perspective or
yeah, your perspective, just handling, like, "Okay, this is how things are."
Consciousness. Conscience. We say that?
Conscientiousness.
Yeah. The gesture in conscience.
Yeah.
do you, Michelle, I wanted to ask you because was it hard at first? Because, I mean, yeah, it doesn't change who you are as a person. Like, everyone has dignity, whatever they look like. It doesn't change. But I know that people's perception of you can change based on how you look or what you're lacking or whatever it is. Um, we all have insecurities, but especially so, I would think, especially in your profession where you don't have hands to play an instrument. So it's it's more novel, but also I would think that it would be that you would face people who wouldn't understand or would think it odd that you were playing music and would want to be in public doing that. Is that anything have you faced that before? Like, how did you walk through, "I'm gonna accept that this is how I've come into the world, and I want to be able to live to the fullest as I am, despite perspectives or what people think." How did you walk through that? Because your industry is so public facing.
Oui, c'est vrai, mais peut-être que c'était, le challenge de ma vie. C'est peut-être, quelque chose que je voulais prouver, que tout était possible.
Yes, it's true, but it was maybe the challenge of his life, to prove himself.
Et en fait, la musique a changé le regard des gens sur moi.
And music
Je ne suis
changed
plus,
the way people perceived him or looked at him.
je suis plus un une personne handicapée ou en situation d'handicap à travers leurs yeux, mais bien un musicien.
So I was a person who was handicapped in their eyes, but at the same time, I was a musician,
Et ça change tout pour moi.
and that changed everything for me.
Et c'est vrai que me montrer comme ça en public, c'est toujours quelque chose de difficile, bien sûr, mais je pense que maintenant les gens voient le musicien à travers moi et ils oublient le handicap et ça, c'est pour moi très important.
So it is very hard, and has been very hard to show my handicap in front of others. But as a musician now, they see me as a musician. They look past the handicap, and that's very important.
Et finalement, ils s'aperçoivent que je suis pas si handicapé dans ma tête que cela. Tout est très relatif.
And so they can see I'm not very handicapped. Everything's relative. They see, wow, he's a musician. He's great.
Il y a plusieurs formes d'handicap, bien sûr.
And there are many forms of handicap for sure.
What what was the most encouraging thing someone has said to you before that you always remember? Either about your music playing or just you in general, what was something that you always remember and it stuck with you? Good words to hear.
J'ai pas bien compris, quelle est la chose la plus importante?
C'est-à-dire, est-ce que vous
Que
avez, une phrase, quelqu'un l'a dit ou une chose qui a beaucoup, vous impacté de mieux? C'est-à-dire, encourager, est-ce qu'il y avait quelqu'un qui a dit quelque chose que, ah, ça a beaucoup t'encouragé?
encourager?
Oui.
Bah, surtout mes parents. Moi, j'ai eu beaucoup de chance, d'avoir des parents extraordinaires, qui m'ont aimé tout de suite et qui m'ont poussé en avant et qui m'ont dit: «Tu mérites le meilleur».
So his parents, were really extraordinary. They loved him, um, they loved him very much and always wanted the best for him, pushing him, you can getting him the best. in his life.
You deserve the best one, the best of your life. And so for me, c'était une armure, ça veut dire quelque chose que je porte sur moi,
Mm.
qui me rend plus fort. Cet amour inconditionnel.
His unconditional love was like an armor for me.
So they really encouraged you to play music.
Bien sûr, of course.
Yeah.
They pushed me. Yeah, and they asked me. No, they told me you deserve everything. Everything is possible, and don't compare to anything, anyone, and go.
Did you believe
It's
them?
your life.
Did you believe them at first, or did it take a while for you to go, "Yes, I can do this"?
Oui, I was a cheeky boy. I was quite brave boy. I mean, modestly,
Yeah.
uh, with full of energy and lively. I mean, I grew up in a small village in the nature around Geneva, and I was very happy. I had many friends around me, and frankly, the handicap wasn't a problem for me. Of course, sometimes I did things a little bit slower
Yeah.
because I couldn't do like others, but never mind. If you trust in you, and it's okay. You believe in you, and it's okay.
When you were a boy, did you outside of music, what hobbies did you have? What did you like to do?
J'ai pas bien compris.
Quels étaient vos passe-temps hors de la musique quand,
Oui,
vous étiez jeune?
j'étais très sportive, très
He
sportif.
was really sportive.
Foot, soccer, many things. Ski, of course. We are in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, of course. I swim a lot, of course. 1 kilometer every Monday.
You still do that?
Yeah, in a swimming pool.
Wow.
I go slowly, but I go. I mean,
It's better to
it's
go than
the
not go at all. That's
but the goal is not important. The way it's important, of course.
hmm.
And yeah, and the nature. On observait beaucoup la nature, les animaux, les insectes. J'ai beaucoup aimé ça.
We were in nature, and so I spent a lot of time observing, animals, the insects, the environment around me.
Do you have a favorite animal?
Well, I have a cat. Every animals, of course. I like it. I like them, of course.
Do you as as a boy, did you it was interesting earlier you were saying, the journey is more important than the goal, the end. Did it do you think that since being a child to now has y- has it helped you in some ways to in other areas of life that you have to be okay with maybe a bit slower pace at times? Has that taught you like patience in other areas of life where you have to embrace the journey as opposed to being so worried about the goal? Because I know for me, and I think for a lot of I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of Americans, I think we're always very goal centric, get to the end. That's the important thing. How does the end look as opposed to how you got there? And so I wondered, for you having to learn at times to go a bit more slowly, has that helped you in other areas of life?
Mais en fait, on vit dans une société où il faut toujours prouver des choses, toujours, tout le temps.
We live in a society where you have to prove yourself all the time.
et ça nous met beaucoup de pression.
and that puts a lot of pressure on us.
Moi, j'ai appris à lâcher prise sur ces choses.
I learned to not let these things get a hold of me.
Et peut-être, c'est ma chance, c'est d'aller moins vite et peut-être de vivre des choses, de comprendre plus le monde subtil plutôt d'être que tout le temps, toujours être, in hurry.
So I had to learn, and I learned perhaps it was my luck to go less fast and to enjoy the more subtle things in life.
Et ça m'a fait, me connaître moi beaucoup mieux, moi-même,
And that helped me
ce que je suis.
Mhm. to know myself a lot better.
Je sais pas si j'ai répondu à la question.
Oui, oui. Mais, or sorry, he was wondering if that answers your question.
Yes, no, it does. Is there an area of life, though, where it was harder to? Because I feel like there are certain things in life that it's easier to be okay with things going slowly. But is there anything in life that you still find yourself getting irritated with, that it doesn't go as quickly as you want it to? Or maybe a lesson you just keep relearning about this particular topic?
Mais il faut lâcher prise, il faut lâcher le contrôle,
You've got to let
je
go.
pense.
You've got to let go of control.
On peut pas tout réussir et la vie n'est pas faite pour réussir.
Hmm.
La vie est faite pour, qu'on soit heureux.
So we can't achieve everything, and that's not the purpose of life. The purpose is to be happy.
Et les choses arrivent, quand nous sommes prêts à les vivre.
And the things happen when we're ready for them to happen.
How do you think you can, how do you achieve happiness, you think? Because that's, I mean, that's the age old question. But for you, what do you, when you say, life is about finding that happiness, what does that look like for you? What do you mean?
Je pense que, il y a pas de en fait, il y a pas besoin de il f le bonheur est à l'intérieur de nous. Il faut pas le chercher ailleurs.
You don't need to look outside for happiness. Happiness is something that you cultivate inside of you.
Et pour moi, le plus grand bonheur, c'est mes amis, c'est, les liens, c'est ma famille. J'ai 2 filles, une femme, mes parents, de prendre soin d'eux et de dire qu'on les aime.
Hmm. So for me, the greatest happiness is my relationships, my friends, my ties. He has two girls and a wife, and his parents, and just one of the greatest things is to love them.
Il y a rien d'autre, on n'a rien d'autre dans la vie.
We don't have anything else in in this life.
On va tous au même endroit de toute façon, on finit tous au même endroit et on veut faire beaucoup de choses, mais finalement, on arrive tous au même endroit, c'est la mort,
We all
ou en tout cas une porte.
we're all going to the same place, and we're all doing different things, but we end up at the same spot, or at least a door.
Like the door, do you mean like we all die kind of thing, or the door? What does the door mean?
Bah, pour moi, tout ça, c'est des portes qu'on franchit et je crois en une vie après la mort, oui, je pense.
So it's something that we all have to cross, right? Death, and he says he does believe in life after death.
Sinon tout ça n'aurait aucun sens.
Utsa, utsa, ça,
Bah, tout cela, ça veut dire,
tout cela,
nous sommes des êtres
oui,
nous sommes des êtres humains qui sont voués à nous sommes une grande conscience et notre âme
mm,
continuera après,
yeah. So
mais hors dehors de notre corps.
after death, our souls live on. Um, and if that wasn't the case, it wouldn't make sense.
Hmm. I agree with
Maintenant,
you.
on sait maintenant que la conscience n'est pas le produit du cerveau, elle se trouve ailleurs.
We know now that the conscience is not something that's created by the brain. It's something else.
What can I
Enfin,
Are you comfortable? Can I ask, what do you think when you say your soul lives on? What do you think happens after you die?
je sais pas, I don't know really, but j'aimerais croire que qu'il y a un Dieu et qui, en tout cas moi, ça me fait du bien de le croire.
So I want to believe that there is a God, and it's good for me to believe that. Ça veut dire, vous avez dit, c'est bien pour moi
Oui,
de croire ça.
je pourrais je peux pas prouver l'existence
Mm.
de Dieu ou Dieu, ça veut rien dire en fait. Pour moi, Dieu, c'est tellement grand et intouchable. Peut-être, pour moi, le plus important, c'est, la foi.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, and so he said that God is a, he can't prove the existence of God, and for him, God is it's a big concept. But for him, the most important thing is faith.
Faith that God exists.
Oui,
Yeah.
bien sûr,
Yes,
of course.
of course.
Oh, well,
Et je suis très, pardon, sorry.
oh no, no.
Je suis très
Go ahead. Keep going.
non, non, je disais que je suis très sensible, à tous les signes, chaque jour qu'il m'arrive. Je suis très sensible au monde subtil, et ça me suffit. Une lumière, un vent pas sur mes cheveux, bah, j'ai plus de cheveux, mais un vent sur mon visage. Voilà, une parole gentille, un regard, d'amour. Pour moi, c'est ça Dieu, la nature. Pour moi, Dieu, c'est tout ça.
So he said, I'm very sensitive to to the signs around me. Whether it's the light, wind, not on. He doesn't have hair, but wind on his face, kind look, um, things in nature. He said, for me, that is God.
Well, I was gonna
Et la musique aussi, bien sûr,
And
c'est ma prière.
in music as well, of course.
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, Michelle, like, I agree with you. Like, I feel like beauty, it has to come from somewhere. Like, for instance, when you play your pan, your panpipes, you're the one playing the panpipes. Like you're allowing the music that's in the panpipes to come out and to speak and to speak beautifully. And so, like you, I mean, I agree. I think beauty almost in of itself is like evidence that there is God. There's something higher, because how can all of this just be there? I mean, it's beautiful, and it has to be created in some way, just like music.
Mmh. J'avais, 8 ans quand j'ai entendu, un concerto de Jean-Sébastien Bach dans un camp. Nous étions sous la tente et le directeur nous avait mis, de la musique pour nous endormir tous les soirs.
I was about 8 years old when I heard Sebastian Bach concert, and I was in a camp, and the camp counselor would put on the orchestra music to help us go to sleep.
And it was so marvelous for me, it was amazing. I was shocked, really, and I said to myself, "I would like to do that, to be the ambassador of this beauty," of course.
Hmm. Well,
On
I
dit
Oui,
ambassadeur?
oui, oui.
yes, yes. I mean, musicians have such a beautiful gift that you have the capability of not only bringing music that is beautiful to listen to, but it transcends. It helps people relax, it helps people rest, it helps people feel deeply. And I think that's such a special role you play, is you allow people to enter that space very safely, and a bunch of people at the same time. I mean, that's just amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Of course, the power of the music is huge.
Can I
I'm convinced of that.
can I ask, do you think, because I've talked to so many different musicians, and many of them have said that they think music, there is something that makes music beautiful. Some people have said they believe music just, it doesn't matter what type of music, just any sound is beautiful. But I've also talked to other musicians who say that music does follow specific rules that make it beautiful. And I wanted to ask, like, what side do you feel in your experience with music do you err on? Do you think that sound in of itself is very beautiful, or do you find that music has to have some sort of elements to it, or some sort of rules it follows for it to be beautiful?
Well, the music world is so great,
Yeah.
so huge, and um, je suis très curieux. I'm very curious of everything, of every types of music, of course. And sometimes I have to listen to fast music, speed music, to makes me really make me, yeah,
Yeah.
joyful.
Yeah.
And sometimes I need soft music to relax me, to rest myself, and it depend on my mind. No, I don't want to make barrière. How do you say barrière?
Barriers.
Board.
Boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah,
Barriers.
I
Yeah.
don't want to. The music is wonderful if you play with your heart, with your si la musique est authentique.
If the music is authentic.
Yeah, authentic. So pour moi, il n'y a pas de bonne ni de mauvaise musique. C'est chacun
Hmm.
la reçoit comme il l'entend.
So there, for me, there's no good or bad music. It's each person, they receive it as they hear it.
Is
Mais, mais
Go ahead.
si je n'avais pas fait de la musique classique, je pense que j'aurais été batteur dans un groupe de pop ou rock. Ça m'aurait beaucoup plu. J'aime le rythme. I like rhythm.
So if he hadn't have been in classical music, he could see himself being a drummer in more of a band because he really likes rhythm. He likes the beat. He likes to feel the rhythm.
Would it have been harder though for a drum? I guess you'd have to hold the sticks with between your shoulders.
Non, ouais, of course, ce serait difficile pour moi.
It would be difficult for me.
You could invent a new drum, maybe one that was like an elevated drum or something that,
Why not?
yeah, why not be an inventor?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Of course, of course. Everything is possible. I said that. Of course.
Um, do you um how do you balance, because obviously music is technical at the same time that it is authentic, because you can play with your heart but it could sound terrible, or you can play with your heart and it sounds good, depending on how much you've practiced and how much effort you've put into it. How do you, because I've listened to some musicians where it's very technical, like they're technically very precise, but it's not very heartfelt. And so you could say, wow, that was a really good performance, but only in the sense of that they didn't miss a note, or they didn't get off the beat, but they seem very stressed and like they finished, and you're very proud that they completed it perfectly, but there wasn't any heart to it. So how do you balance the technicality of it with the heart, that you don't lose your passion for the instrument at the same time that you're trying to perfect your work?
Mhm. It's a good question. Of course, I play with my heart,
Yeah.
with my whole heart, of course. I need my technique, absolutely. But if it's only technique, it's boring for me. Sometimes I don't want to go to the concert sometimes because it's perfect, but I'm not touched.
Hmm.
And I came comme mon père, my father was an opera singer, so for me, la musique n'est que l'expression d'un chant intérieur.
Music is 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 the expression of an interior song.
And you have to listen to this song inside you. That's very important for me. Après, voilà, c'est pas à moi de juger un bon et mauvais musicien. Ce serait très prétentieux de ma part.
So, and it's not my role to judge, you know, if this is a good or bad musician. That
Right.
would be
Yeah.
pretentious for me.
Mais je pense que, enfin, pour moi, oui, la musique doit toucher les cœurs.
But for me,
Et si on s-
music must touch the heart.
mais pas toujours, parfois, mais elle peut toucher les cœurs, pas toujours dans quelque chose de, encore une fois, de mélancolique, de doux, de lyrique. Elle peut toucher les cœurs dans la joie, dans quelque chose de très rythmé. Ça va aussi, hein. C'est aussi une émotion.
Hmm.
And you know, it touches your heart in different ways. It can be in melancholic ways, more lyrical. Music, it's an emotion. It doesn't hit always the same.
Is there Do you like what type of music? Because yeah, I know you were mentioning earlier classical music that really touched you as a kid. Is there, um, do you find yourself leaning toward a specific genre of music more that you really enjoy?
No, not really. I started with traditional music. My flute came from Romania. So first I played with traditional musicians. It was fantastic,
Hmm.
and we play by heart without scores. I mean, it was fantastic because the music inside you is not inside the paper,
Right. Yeah.
your score. So I like traditional music, of course, as well. And I don't have a lot of music specially written for my instrument because the pan flute, yeah, is not well known in the conservatory. And when I came to the conservatory, people saw me very curiously. I mean, with my pan flute, it's nothing. Yeah, comment dire, le monde classique est très élitiste, très conservateur.
The classical world is very elitist, i- in conservative.
I don't like that. J'aime pas les concerts où il fait tout sombre, it's dark, and the musician doesn't smile and don't smile, and it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
on écoute
serious.
avec. Yeah,
Yeah.
very serious. On écoute aussi avec les yeux,
We also listen with our eyes.
of course.
Huh. That's a very good point. It is true. Yeah. Do you Did you pick the pan flute for a reason as a child that you wanted to learn it, or was that later that you chose the pan flute as your instrument?
Ben, je n'ai jamais eu le choix
I never had the
sur
choice
l'instrument.
for as of an instrument.
That's true.
Un jour, mon père est arrivé avec cette flûte et je l'ai tout de suite adoptée.
One day my dad came home with the flute and with this flute, and I, you know, adapted myself to it.
That's it.
Voilà, donc
I feel like
peut-être
that's I was gonna say that it's so amazing because you, in the inability to play with fingers, are bringing an instrument that most people don't listen to very much to the forefront for more people to listen to. I mean, that's so cool. Like you're helping each other almost, it seems.
oui, oui, c'est vrai, c'était mon destin peut-être. Peut-être que tout est déjà écrit,
Yeah.
je sais pas.
Yeah, that's true. Perhaps perhaps that was our destiny. and maybe that was already written.
I don't know.
Now that's would you be willing, if it's okay, could you play something for people to
Yes, of
see?
course. Sure, sure. So I have a scale in C major, and et si je dois, if I want to play chromatically, have to move change the direction of my flute. Okay, it's very difficult for that because the flute is not chromatic.
Yeah.
I can play even one scale in one tube. Almost. So we have a lot of flute in South America, of course, and they blow very strongly. Very yeah, powerful. And the Romanian music is fantastic as well. Et puis la musique classique, on peut imiter la voix humaine. Je sais pas comment on dit en anglais, imiter.
We can imitate the human voice
Imitate.
with this instrument.
What?
Yeah. C'est très lyrique. La difficulté, c'est de jouer legato. Ça veut dire de lier les notes entre elles.
Sorry.
Parce que je dois.
My Wi-Fi was something happened. Pardon.
Ah,
Vous pouvez répéter, s'il vous plaît?
la difficulté de la flûte de pan, c'est de jouer lié.
Um,
De,
lier, ça veut dire side by side?
de lier les notes.
Ah, the difficulty with playing
Lier
flute is to connect the notes.
Voilà, c'est la difficulté.
It's the difficulty.
Parce que nous avons toujours des sauts à faire. On doit choisir le bon tuyau.
Yeah, you
So
have
you
to go
have to
back and
do
forth so quickly.
C'est un jeu d'adresse.
you have to go jump back between the tubes. And so, you know, it's kind of
Yeah.
a game of address, like knowing
Yeah.
where to land on the flute.
We really have two instruments, your body and your flute. It's
It's like a dance between the two. Yeah.
voilà, ils s'entraident mutuellement.
Yes, so
Les deux
they
sont
are
vraiment.
mutually they have a mutual relationship.
Yeah. C'est pas un instrument facile.
It's not an easy instrument.
No.
Voilà, parce que la colonne d'air aussi, la pression est tout le temps perturbée. Il suffit qu'on appuie un tout petit peu trop fort la flûte sur les lèvres, le son il baisse. C'est assez délicat.
So you have to be very delicate, you know, with your breath. If you push, you know, put too much breath, it could change the sound. Um, yeah.
Et on peut faire beaucoup d'effets, de souffle, de percussion. On a beaucoup de possibilités.
You can do a lot, you know, with your breath, and even different percussions and whatnot. Just with your
C'est assez fort. Le son est assez loudly. C'est assez puissant.
and the sound is pretty strong.
Yeah. No, it
Les chefs
is.
d'orchestre. Yeah. Les chefs d'orchestre sont toujours très étonnés quand je joue en soliste un concerto, à quel point la flûte sonne très fort. On l'entend bien.
The conductors and heads of the orchestras are very impressed at the sound just the strength of the instrument when
Hmm.
he plays, in a concerto or um, it has a big impact, a big voice.
Mm.
Do you this is kind of a funny question, but I was gonna say it could be a weapon too, because if you don't like someone, can't you just tip it and blow at them?
Une arme? J'ai pas compris, une arme,
Elle m'a dit que ça peut être aussi une arme. Tu peux, je ne sais pas. You're saying it could like turn it and hit someone,
Yeah,
like
it could be a weapon, like a
c'est,
spit machine, if you
it's.
wanted it to be.
Elle a dit que tu peux lancer. Je ne sais plus comment on dit en français ça. Euh, euh, Ton salive.
mais oui, bien sûr.
Oui.
Comment?
Salive, je pense à salive, salive,
Ah, la
salive.
salive. Oui, 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 je comprends. Oui, bien sûr. I understand. Yeah, of course. Oui, oui, on utilise beaucoup la langue. Your tongue
Yeah.
You,
must be
you use the tongue a
must
lot,
move very
and
fast.
it moves very fast.
C'est un staccato.
We do a staccato.
C'est vraiment, oui, oui, bien sûr. Voilà, c'est un exercice. On doit être assez tonique. C'est un instrument assez tonique.
Um, it's a pretty tonic instrument. You have to. Tonique, ça veut
On
dire.
utilise Bah, la tonicité, c'est les muscles qui sont assez durs. C'est assez précis. C'est pas, on ne doit pas être mou. L'inverse de tonique, c'est mou, la mollesse.
Ah, okay. So you
Que ce-
can't be very soft with this instrument. You've got to be precise and firm.
Mm. Et on devient un peu fou. J'ai une forte pression des fois.
And you
Il faut
can
que
get
je
a
baisse,
little crazy. You have a pretty strong press. Uh, you're pushing very strongly,
comme les chanteurs.
like a
Les
singer.
chanteurs aussi ont une pression très élevée parce qu'ils utilisent le souffle très fort.
And singers also have a really strong push or breath because they're pushing their sound. They're pushing not
Yeah.
the
Well, I was gonna
voice.
say even though you're pushing, it's really cool how you control it because, like, even when I saw your performance of the Braveheart theme with Andre Rieu, like you listen to it and you're putting a lot of breath into the panpipe, but the music is soft and very caressing to like the ear. Um and so people aren't feeling that push. You're still feeling the soft melody of the music as you play, and that's really cool.
Mhm, mhm. Merci, thank you. Oui, bien sûr, c'est en même temps, il y a un grand engagement,
So it's at the same time a large engagement,
engagement of course, mais en même temps, c'est un engagement qui est doux.
but it's also a soft, engagement.
Mais moi aussi, je dois être,
Mm.
dans ma tête très calme et rempli de tendresse et de bienveillance.
So I need to be, have a mindset that is um tender and full of well-being.
On joue comme on est en fait. We play like
Yeah.
we are,
Do you
bien sûr. Donc,
can you play a do you play lullabies on the panpipe? Can you?
yeah, of course.
Yeah?
J'ai beaucoup joué pour mes enfants quand ils étaient petits.
I played a
Did you
lot for
play
my kids when they were little.
I was gonna say, do you play for your daughters when they can so they could go to
Of
sleep?
course, of
Yeah?
course. The youngest one play the harp, and the eldest one play the piano.
Hmm.
And together we can share music. That's fantastic.
Oh my goodness, I wish I was there. I would make you all play.
Yeah, and my wife plays the guitar and sings as well.
Goodness, what a wonderful. So when you're all stressed, you just sit down and play music. Just forget
Yeah,
everything.
we have a big orchestra
Yeah, you do.
in our home. Yeah.
Well, Michel, it was such a gift. Thank you for talking with me, especially when you're so busy. But it's been such a gift. I'm so excited to see more of your music when, more of it to be filmed. And because you just play beautifully. So I'm very excited.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It touched me a lot. I do my best.
Yes, and you do
Thank
very
you.
well. Your best is just, yeah, better than my best, that's for sure. You couldn't get me to blow through anything. All right, bye, Michel. Thank you, and thank you, translator, as well.
Bye.
Appreciate
Take
you.
Au
care.
revoir, Michel.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, of
Merci
course.
beaucoup.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Merci.
Bye-bye.
À vous aussi.